Hello everyone, welcome back to another Toyota video. I just picked up this cool Toyota, or let me just break this down real quick. I already removed the engine. I'm gonna start tearing down this front axle. So yesterday I was on Facebook Market, and this they had it listed as a 1984 Toyota pickup standard cab. It was on Facebook Market for $750, and the first thing on my mind was, all right, it's probably a rust bucket. Let me just go buy it for the front axle, because you guys know the 84, 85 front solid axle are good for SAS, solid axle swap. So I hit up the guy, and the guy's like, well, he had OBO in his ad, and I was like, hey, I'll give you $400 for it. Let me know. I'll pick it up first thing in the morning. And he's like, well, hold on for a second. Somebody else is willing to offer me full price. So a couple hours later, around nighttime, he messaged me, hey, $500, come by and grab it. I'm like, shoot, $500 is a deal to me. So head on to my buddy's place. I went and borrowed his car dolly. FYI, I sold the car dolly. The car dolly that I bought last week, I sold it because I got it all ready, and it just wasn't working for my setup. It was kind of sketchy, so I sold it. So I went over to a buddy's place, borrowed his car dolly, went by this guy here and picked it up. Now this is a super clean, well, it's not clean, but for these ages and this era, it's considered clean. Now the issue with this was that it had a big old hole in the block. So they went ahead and hydro-locked the 22 RE engine here. Two big holes in the block. Brought my battery, and surprisingly, we were still able to start it, but it was very rough. It was a burr, like I had to keep my foot on the gas, and we had to reverse it out of their driveway to load it on here. And for some reason, the rear driver tire was locked up for some reason. So I think I checked the e-brake, I checked everything. I think something internally inside the brake system is locking it up, but I was able to tow it home on the car dolly when it goes forward. So got it home, unloaded it. I was still able to drive it, unload it, coming back onto to the garage. And like I said, guys, my first impression was, hey, let me just gut it up. Now when I went to go look at this rig, I glanced at it. I'm like, all right, let's load it up. I didn't even do my usual inspection, because in my head I wasn't gonna fix it up. Now when I bought it, the guy, he didn't have the title. He was like, oh, the title's at my buddy's place. And I was like, oh, I know how those goes. Trying to get a hold of your buddy is gonna be a pain in the butt. So I'm like, all right, don't worry about the title, I'm gonna gut it up anyways. As I was coming home, I posted this rig on Facebook Market, parting out, who wants parts, come get it. And for some reason, the owner, which is his buddy, messaged me, say, hey, I'm the owner of it. If you want the title, I'm right here. So I was able to get a hold of the owner, and I went ahead and got the title. So this title was back in 2015. It's a Colorado title, so it's still under a Colorado title, which is pretty amazing. So the owner that had this truck, he had it since 2015, so almost a decade. Now it is a clean truck. Once I got it home, I stepped back a little bit, or yeah, I posted on my Instagram, and then a bunch of my followers were giving me crap, like, hey, don't gut this thing out, blah blah blah. And I'm like, all right, let me step back for a second and take an inspection. And that's when I finally started inspecting the rig. You know, the bumper's all dinged up, fender on the passenger fender is not all pretty, but interior is super clean. And then I crawled under, and I noticed the frame was still good. It has all your surface rust, your flaky rust, but as far as structural, it's still really, really clean. Steering knuckles are leaking like crazy, so that's why I'm gonna go ahead and tear down the front axle and rebuild it. So with that being said, last night I ripped out the 22 RE motor. I'm currently in the process of finding another 22 RE. I don't want to do a 3-4 swap right now. I don't want to do any kind of swap right now. I want to get another 22 RE in here and just get it going and see where we go from here. I might keep it, I might fix it up and sell it, or like I say, if I do keep it, I want to make this a off-road buggy so that I can have it as a backup next to my Land Cruiser. So without further ado, I'm gonna show you guys a little glimpse of it, and then I'm gonna get back to work and start tearing down this front axle, and I'll start making a list of what I need to order If the bearings are good, we'll keep the bearings. If not, we'll go ahead and do a full refresh. So take a look at this 1985. The title is actually a 1985. So this is an 85, which is super rare. 84, 85 are the last years of solid axles, and these are 22RE. And also, this one has a sunroof and it's electric doors, which is kind of nice, but I would have preferred regular doors. And I kind of wish this was an X cab. I'm not a super fan of standard cabs, but I can live with the standard cab. But I would have preferred this being a standard cab, no, X cab. So that's the front axle right there. I was just gonna start doing my digging. We're gonna have to probably rebuild these hubs. Rotors are still good. I checked the brake pads. Brake pads are completely down to its last millimeters, so we'll refresh that. We're gonna keep the shocks. These are blistening shocks, so they looks good, so we're gonna refresh that. When I get the axle out, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the front differential as well, and I want to inspect that diff and also just reseal it. So look at this Toyota, guys. Now you guys keep in mind, I am not a 80s Toyota, guys. I am strictly 90. I specialize in the 90s, 89 through 95 pickup. So this is all new to me, and I'm loving it. I'm learning it, and this is really cool. What impresses me the most is that the metal is really different compared to a 3rd gen pickup. The metal is really nice, and this paint here has to probably be the original paint, but it's a very different texture. It has a texture paint to it, almost looks like they rattle canned it, but this is the original paint. So how cool is that, guys? You know, windshield will need some loving, and like I said, this is clean for a 85. Let me turn on some more lights here. One thing I do have to fix right away, which is not super important, is that this thing only unlocks from the inside. So the guy says that the rod broke or something, or it came off. Before I tear this engine down, I went ahead and turned on the vehicles, and I rolled down the windows just to make life a bit more easier. So it does have windows, but I rolled them down. Look at this, electric. A bunch of my followers also told me that these seats right here, these are SR5 seats, and these are in good condition. They told me that these seats right here are selling for over $1,500 to $2,000 in these states. That is crazy. Now look at this, Rice. 201,000 miles. Everything still works on the gauge. The dash right here has a little nice carpet, and it's not dirty. This is a smoker vehicle. There's a bunch of cigarette butts in the cat ashtray, so it does have a little bit of smell of cigarettes, but it's not bad. I went ahead and did a quick vacuum. What I think I'm gonna do next, once I get this rig moving, is I want to remove these seats and rip out this carpet and do a full shampoo, pressure wash, and let this carpet seal. The cab itself is not rusted or cracked below there, so that's good. It is missing a center console. Check that out, original radio. This is all old school radio, man. Everything is super clean. This is actually a really clean dash. You know, if something like this, usually you'll have stuff missing, you'll have all this stuff missing, but everything is still here. A few things are missing, but nothing crazy. Like this one's missing the light and the covers. But overall, man, this thing is pretty sweet. I'm not a fan of sunroof, but again, this one came with sunroof. I'm hoping it doesn't have any leaking issue. Other than that, we can probably make it work. Toyota logo, 4-wheel drive, EFI. A little bit rust right here, but nothing crazy. And again, if I do end up keeping this truck in the future, I can always remove this bed and just build me a flatbed style, because I want to build this for off-roading and for hunting. So check that out. There it is. Tailgate doesn't really open, but you can open it manually by doing the rod method. And here's all the parts that I remove. I'm gonna go ahead and reuse a lot of them. It needs to be cleaned up. They did went ahead and cut the exhaust system, so from the cat down. So I'm gonna have to build the exhaust system again. Not a big deal. If you guys are expert in the 22RE, let me know if I can go ahead and just bypass the cat and do a catalytic converter delete. Let me know if there's gonna be any check engine light coming on. So take a look at that, guys. This is her beautiful side. It's a bit more pretty on this side, and I love this paint style here. This metal here just feels so much more sturdy, more tough. Original radiator is still good, just needs a cleaning. Back sliding is good, a little bit dense up there. You can see they have something right here, so this thing probably needs to have a little topper, because you can see where it sits right there, and also right here, so it needs to have a topper or something. This one here opens nice. Look at that, nice and sturdy. That sound just clicks. This one again is the little dome light right here. Electric doors, no electric windows. Super sweet. Take a look at these seat belts, guys. Both of these seat belts are still in really, really good shape. You guys know Toyota, and usually the driver's side is all torn up. So this one is made by Dash Mat, original Dash Mat, nice color, matches it. Little nice glove box. Has a clock right here. I like the position of this clock here. Look at that. On the 3rd gen pickup, the clock is like right here. Has cruise control. I'm not gonna go ahead and install that cruise control. I'm probably gonna go ahead and delete it. So everything's nice. The center console could use a little refresh. The little cloth right here, it's kind of torn up, but eventually once I get this removed, I'll start cleaning things up. And again, look at the seats here. These are super clean seats. A little bit dirtiness, but it can be clean. I was watching some videos and people have way more worse condition compared to what I have. So I think we're gonna go ahead and save this truck and keep her on the road. Headline is really good. I wonder if these come with a cover. So it looks like it does have a sunroof cover right here. You can see where it clips on. So I wonder how hard it is to find that cover. Probably super rare. These mirrors are kind of nice, but they're kind of a, you know, little wiggle. Doesn't look pretty stout. And then the fender right here looks like it got crushed in. I might have to pop this fender out, but so far the door can still open pretty good right there. So not a big deal. And again, this is pretty clean for a 85, guys. This metal here looks like it's a metal from like some kind of aircraft, like an F-22 or some kind of military airplane. I love the headlight protection right here. That's pretty nice. The grill is kind of broken, hanging on its last leg, but it's still there. Still really pretty. I'm not too worried about the front bumper, because if I do end up keeping this rig, we'll go ahead and get a new aftermarket front bumper along with the front and rear aftermarket bumper. And again, solid axle, has a front sway bar. I might remove that front sway bar because I'm not a really fan, and I'm not a big fan of sway bars. TK is a top shift, and I'm not exactly sure what kind of transmission this is, but I think it's a W56. And I love the way they build these. See how that is, man? No rust down here. You guys can't really see it, but no rust down here. And that's the frame right there. You can see it's kind of flaking, but it's a solid frame. That's the gas tank. I'm surprised the gas tank doesn't have a skid plate like the 3rd gen pickup, but it's all good. It has the original wheels. These are the old school steel wheels. They're steel, but they look chromy. So this one needs a little cleanup right here. And a little bit dirty on that side, rusty on that side, but again, not too worried about that. Went ahead and removed the spare tire. You guys can't see too much down here, but we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and refresh that rear axle. I'm gonna have to remove that rear axle, pop the axle out, reseal the diff, inspect the diff, do all the wheel bearings, check the brake pads and make sure and see why it's locking up. But for the most part, this is still considered a solid rig. And again, I'll be honest, I was gonna part it out. I literally was gonna part it out until I stepped back and like, let's look at what we got real quick. And I think we have, some people call this the Godfather of the Toyota pickup to those guys. A little quick look on the engine bay. Engine bay is still really clean, really nice. Super sweet. And again, we'll go ahead and delete as much useless thing as possible. Cruise control sits over there. I went ahead and removed the charcoal canister already. and all that fun stuff. The fuse box is super simple. Look how simple this is. It is only like less than 10 fuses right here. Pretty amazing for a 85 technology. So with that being said, guys, I'll update you guys daily on my Instagram. If you guys want to follow my Toyota stuff, NuttyNu_4x4. Watch the stories, watch the posts. I'll update you guys. I'm not gonna film too much of myself rebuilding this rig, like the solid axle. I'm not gonna film all that because there's already videos on how to do it, so I don't want to make how-to videos on how to do your front axle. It's super easy, super simple. But once I find myself a 22RE engine, and once we get it in here, I'll document all of that stuff. But for the most part, I'm gonna keep this truck reliable, on a budget, and just good quality. We're not gonna go fancy, no crazy turbo, no nothing like that. If you guys are second gen pickup owners, throw me some knowledge down in the comment section below. Let me know something that I don't know, man, because I'm always looking to learn new things, and I'm excited for all this fun stuff. The front axle, I'm gonna do a few things to it. Like, I'm gonna put the trail gear, spindle studs, all that fun stuff. I'm gonna beef it up. I'm probably gonna order some Martin crawler axle seals. Most likely, well, I'll check the bearings. If the wheel bearings are still good, we'll go ahead and reuse them, repack them. But if the wheel bearings are bad, I'll go ahead and slap on some new one. And then the wiper seals, I might go and do the trail gear wiper seals, like the one I have on my Land Cruiser. Those are reusable and they last forever, and they're much better. So I think I might spend the money and do that. Because worst case, if I can't find an engine or something like that, and I do end up gutting it, at least that front axle, I already went ahead and put the good stuff in there. But I'm gonna try to avoid gutting it because, like I said, it's still a solid rig. It fits all the criteria that I look for before I gut it. For example, if I was to gut this, no title, rusted frame, rusted cab, blown motor, or something like that. And usually if it has at least 2 or 3 of those, then I will gut it. But for some reason, we found the title. If frame isn't rusted, motor is bad, exterior is still good, and interior is still good. So we only have one bad thing, which is a bad motor. So can't kill this old guy yet. Gotta let it live for another couple more years. But again, I'm super excited because this is my first time owning a second gen 80s Toyota pickup, and everything is a bit new to me. There's gonna be some new stuff, but for the most part, it's still Toyota, so it's still all in the back of the brain here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll catch you guys next time, and I'll update you guys on the bill. I'm just gonna call this the 85 pickup because I don't like to put names on them. So this is the 85 pickup. When I mentioned that, this is the only one, unless I go ahead and buy another one. Catch you guys on the next video. Bye bye.